Does anyone remember the nostalgic Disney Channel show called The Buzz on Maggie? If not, it's a show that aired back in 2005 that featured Maggie Pesky, and it showed her adventures. The show ran from 2005 to 2006, only lasting 21 episodes. However, Maggie made her comeback in Chibiverse along with other forgotten Disney Channel characters, such as Pepper Ann, Penzero, Kick Buttowski, Fat Cat, etc. Suddenly, I encountered a lost THX trailer based on the show. And it still haunts me to this day. Here's where it all started. It was a nice sunny day in June of 2025. I was watching an episode of the 2008 Banana Splits reboot. However, I heard a knock at the door. I went to check if anyone arrived or something, but the only thing that arrived was a package with the THX logo and Disney Channel logo on top. I grabbed and opened it with my safety scissors. And inside was a THX DVD. The cover depicted of Maggie on the bottom looking very scared, and Texas on the top. There was no title, it just said, The Buzz on Maggie THX.
That's strange.
I said to myself.
I thought Disney doesn't make DVDs about The Buzz on Maggie.
I shrugged it off as I put the DVD into my PS5, and it started. First it showed the Walt Disney Home Entertainment logo, and then the Walt Disney Television Animation logo, but they're completely normal. Then it showed previews of past Disney Channel shows, such as Gravity Falls, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Wonder Over Yonder, Big City Greens, the 2017 DuckTales reboot, etc. Then it took me to the DVD menu. The menu looked interesting. It showed Maggie on the bottom and Texas on the top, as seen in the DVD cover. The menu options were Play, Scene Selection, Setup, Bonus Features, and Visit DisneyChannel.com. I pressed play to watch this trailer. However, when it started, it showed a warning, and it said this.
This trailer is made to promote the theatrical release of Saw I in 2005. Later, this trailer was re-released to promote the 20th anniversary of The Buzz on Maggie on June 17, 2025. Lastly, this trailer was released in theaters on December 5, 2025, promoting the release of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 2025, despite not being THX certified. Watch at your own risk.
Oh God. Here we go again.
I said in frustration. Just then, it showed a shot of Texas staring at the camera. However, he said this to the viewers.
Looks like Sexy Texie is going to rock out with a fly tonight.
He then flew away off screen. Just then, it showed a wide shot of the THX logo in a dark background, as seen in the Mulan trailer. A few minutes later, Maggie came into the shot, but she was looking very scared.
Where am I?
She asked herself. She then looked around to see if anyone was there.
Hello? Anybody here?
She asked again. However, there was no response. That is, until she can hear Texas's laugh echoing.
What was that? Am I hearing somebody laughing?
She questioned. She then heard that same laugh from earlier.
Oh no, that better not be Dawn.
Maggie explained. At first, she thought that her arch nemesis Dawn would appear, but instead it was Texas, who dropped to the ground startling her.
Tex, the THX robot, we finally meet.
Maggie shouted.
Well, what have we here? It's the queen of rock and roll herself, Maggie Pesky. So, what brings you here in my hideout?
Texas pointed out, as he asked Maggie. Maggie then confronted to Texas by saying this.
I have heard everything that you did. You have done such awful things to these people. Over what? Being afraid of you and your company? That's not right. Also, think about those innocent people that you just killed. What were you thinking? That's wrong. If people were afraid of you, your logo, or your company, just accept the fact that they don't like you, or just ignore them. If you're gonna keep this up, I'm gonna report you to the police to have you arrested, and there's nothing you're gonna do about it.
Do you really think that you're strong enough to beat me? I don't think so. Now, with that being said, time for the T-Man to rock out.
Texas remarked.
Over my dead body.
Maggie shouted, as she got angry. Just then, she started to charge at Texas by pulling his head off. However, Texas pulled out his Mucan and Maggie suddenly stopped.
What in the bug is that thing?
Maggie asked to Texas.
This here is my Mucan.
Texas told Maggie.
And do you know what I'm going to do with it?
What?
Maggie responded.
This.
Texas then tilted his Mucan, which created a shockwave. Maggie gasped on what Texas did. As that happened, she got impaled by the shockwave, and she then fell on the floor. Texas then flew up to Maggie, grinning stupidly, as he then grabbed her by the wing. Maggie started screaming, as she was being held on the wing by Texas.
Are you ready to fly down, fly girl?
Texas taunted.
No! Put me down properly?
Maggie shouted with realistic aggression.
If you say so.
Texas pitted, as he then let go of Maggie. Maggie screamed, as she was falling to the ground. Also, the line that Maggie said was a reference to the Texas and Zerg's Return trailers. Speaking of which, the scene where Texas created a shockwave on Maggie was a reference to the Pixar Box It trailer. Maggie then fell down on the ground. However, her wings were broken upon impact. Texas then dropped down and said to Maggie,
Any last words, Miss Pesky?
He berated.
To be honest, I do.
Maggie replied.
I hope that you can go to hell for all of your actions. Damn you to hell.
Well, in that case.
Texas then pulled out his hammer and was ready to slam it down on Maggie. Right before Texas's hammer was about to make contact with Maggie, the screen cut to black, as I can hear blood splattering, and Texas laughing evilly. I can also hear Maggie screaming. However, it sounded like her actress, Jessica DeSica, was being attacked by hellhounds. The screen stayed like this for 5 seconds, until it showed a wide shot of the THX logo, as seen from earlier. Just then, the screaming deep notes raised and played. However, it was more louder than I thought. And it was also convicted of a woman screaming and children crying, as heard in the Texas and Zerg and Brave Little Toaster trailers. Maggie's scream also joined the chorus. I covered my ears. Then the deep note ended. As that happened, I uncovered my ears and saw blood on my hands.
God damn it.
I shouted in anger. I then cleaned my hands with some napkins. I also received a headache for listening to the screaming deep note. I went outside to rest my head for 5 minutes. Just then, I got back inside to watch the rest of the trailer. Texas then dropped down like how he did in the Mucan trailer and spoke to the audience.
Hello Disney fans. The evil sexy Texie is back again killing more animated characters. This time, he has killed a 30-year-old fly girl named Maggie Pesky. And do you want to know why I killed her? Because like always, she disrespected my logo and company. I also killed the rest of her pathetic friends before I met her. Now remember the golden rule, so-called BuzzGame Maggie viewers. I'm not gonna say this every time. That's right, I'm talking to you. Clarimations, just like banana splits and cartoons Angry Roll, Thinking Spot Friends, Rainbow Toy Fun Randomness, I Koi Sai, Ryan School 2010, In King of, Biko's New World, and even Maggie's #1 fan, Chichi the Mickey Mouse in the Buzz and McTeef in 2008. If any of you are afraid of me, my logo, or my company, I will find your country, I will find your region, I will find your address, and I will find you and kill you until you die. Have a good night, sweet nightmares, and rest in peace your childhood.
Texas then flew away, laughing evilly. Just then, a caption appeared saying, "The audience is buzzing." Seeing that caption gave me chills down my spine. It faded to black. However, the trailer wasn't over yet. It showed a message saying, "Happy 20th anniversary to the Buzz on Maggie," with another caption that read, 2005 to 2025 underneath. As this was displayed, I can hear Texas laughing one last time. Then the screen faded to black. I was about to take the DVD out of my PS5 until one more image showed up. It was an edited close-up shot of Maggie. It was the scene from the episode The Flyinator, where she saw her family turning into Flyinators. However, her eyes were black, her pupils were red, and blood were leaking out of her eyes. Accompanied by a girlified version of the famous classic Howie scream, overlapped with the distorted and high-pitched version of Woody screaming from Toy Story 2, along with what sounded like a slow, loud, and distorted version of the FNAF 1 jumpscare sound when you get killed by either Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, or Foxy. The image scared the crap out of me that I almost pissed my pants and got a heart attack. It then faded to black. However, a caption appeared on the screen saying, "Animated by Horace Levinson in 2024.
Horace.
I growled. No wonder that bastard made that trailer. In fact, Horace Levinson might be the former animator of Disney Channel. Then it took me back to the menu. I was completely pissed off on what I have watched. I started recording the footage and showed it to YouTube. I then had nightmares about Maggie being in danger, as Texas was laughing. I then woke up scared. I can never watch the Buzz on Maggie the same way again after that experience.